A headline from the Washington Post for nearly every day of January 2016. Even Europe's humanitarian superpower is turning its back on refugees. America's self-destructive whites. In Chicago, distrust towards mayor has turned personal. Donald Trump's provocative first TV ad raises the temperature of GOP race. Armed men led by Bundy brothers take over federal building in rural Oregon. Trump says Cruz's Canadian birth could be very precarious for GOP. State Department gave inaccurate answer on Clinton email use, review says. Obama's top national security officials to meet with Silicon Valley CEOs. Cruz says, I spank my daughter when she lies. Voters can administer a spanking to Hillary Clinton. Rand Paul, bumped from main debate stage, will boycott Thursday's undercard. Iran releases captured U.S. Navy crew members. Can Donald Trump actually be the Republican nominee? Post reporter Jason Rezaian and others to be freed in prisoner swap, according to Iranian media. International sanctions against Iran lifted. 13 hours, Benghazi and the slippery definition of political. Trump's bad bet, how too much debt drove his biggest casino aground. Clinton blew the most crucial foreign policy issue, Sanders says in Iowa. Who had the worst week in Washington? Hillary Clinton. Jason Rezaian's wife and mother described their torturous final hours in Iran. Guess which divisive Republican is now campaigning as a political uniter? Why we must rethink solitary confinement, says Obama. Donald Trump's biggest fan is an excitable 9-year-old girl from Maine. The admiral in charge of Navy intelligence has not been allowed to see military secrets for years. Black lives like my father's should matter. That's why I'm endorsing Bernie Sanders. Google Fiber may be looking to add phone services. The big Iowa test. Can Trump and Sanders turn enthusiasm into votes? A headline for nearly every day of February 2016. A more agitated Sanders tries to fend off attacks of nervous establishment. Airbnb slammed for offering rooms with a view in Jewish settlements. Cut Clinton some slack. Trump and Rubio question President Obama's visit to a mosque. Democratic candidates exhibit a new ferocity in last debate before New Hampshire vote. Clinton email scandal. Why it might be time for Democrats to draft Joe Biden. North Korea launches satellite, sparks fears about long-range missile program. Another Islamic State jailer who held Western hostages identified as Londoner. Bernie Sanders' huge New Hampshire win exposes a fractured Democratic Party. Congressional Black Caucus to formally endorse Clinton on Thursday. You didn't hear this from me, but why South Carolina primary politics are so dirty. Talking to Marco Rubio, a scripted candidate suddenly gets chatty. If Republicans block Obama's Supreme Court nomination, he wins anyway. Why blocking Obama's pick to replace Scalia could cost Republicans their Senate majority. Read to GOP, for the good of the country, stop your nakedly partisan obstruction. Apple vows to resist FBI demand to crack iPhone linked to San Bernardino attacks. McConnell and Grassley, Democrats shouldn't rob voters of chance to replace Scalia. On caucus eve, Clinton's allies warned Nevada Latinos to beware of Bernie Sanders. Clinton defeats Sanders in Nevada. Black voter support appears decisive. Trump has a stranglehold on the GOP nomination, so why isn't he getting credit? Joe Biden in 1992. No nominations to the Supreme Court in an election year. Shouts of liar are taking their toll on Ted Cruz's campaign. GOP leaders, you must do everything in your power to stop Trump. Trump is the GOP's Frankenstein monster. Now he's strong enough to destroy the party. U.S. details 9 Zika pregnancies, 2 abortions, 2 miscarriages, one baby with severe microcephaly. MSNBC to sever ties with Melissa Harris Perry after host's critical email. Spray tans, pants wetting, and little hands. The GOP race goes in the gutter. A headline for nearly every day of March 2016. Trump on New York Times interview leak. Everything's negotiable. The GOP has 2 weeks to take down Donald Trump. Justice Department grants immunity to staffer who set up Clinton email server. Blistering attacks upend Trump's pivot to statesman mode. Trump throws the GOP into an identity crisis. Clinton, on her private server, wrote 104 emails the government says are classified. Some supporters of Rubio say bad strategy, poorly run campaign, killing his chances. Poll says Trump leads GOP race nationally, but with weaker hold on the party. Poll says Clinton leads Trump, aided by Obama coalition. Inside Rubio's collapse, a fateful decision that helped unravel his campaign. Cruz, Rubio, and Kasich criticized Trump for creating environment for Chicago protest. Trump has lit a fire. Can it be contained? Police officers shot and killed outside Prince George's police headquarters. 2 suspects in custody. Caught on a hot mic, Clinton speculates about Chris Christie's support for Trump. 2 Trump delegates with foreign names underperform in Illinois. It's harassment for a 6th grader to criticize vegetarianism to a vegetarian classmate. Do Republicans really think Donald Trump will make a good Supreme Court choice? 2 Americans killed in suspected ISIS bombing in Turkey, U.S. officials say. Donald Trump's personal investment in campaign climbs to nearly $25 million. Blast leaves scores dead at Brussels airport and metro station. AIPAC's apology for Trump's speech is unprecedented. North Carolina passes bill blocking LGBT protections. Donald Trump can't stop saying nasty things about women. It could cost him. The media are losing their handle on this campaign. Not that they ever had much of one. How Clinton's email scandal took root. Rush Limbaugh's blessing of Trump is killing conservatism. All 3 GOP candidates backed away from their pledge to support GOP nominee. Trump would be least popular major party nominee in modern times. A headline for every day of April 2016. The worst stereotype of the GOP is coming to life in the form of Donald Trump. Why Hillary Clinton is justifiably annoyed by criticism of her big oil fundraising. In a revealing interview, Trump predicts a massive recession but intends to eliminate the national debt in 8 years. Internal memo reveals Trump campaign's mounting fury with its critics. Trump reveals how he would force Mexico to pay for border wall. California authorities raid home of anti-Planned Parenthood videographer. Clinton questions whether Sanders is qualified to be president. Bernie Sanders plans short hiatus from New York campaign trail to speak at the Vatican. Obama can appoint Merrick Garland to the Supreme Court if the Senate does nothing. Cruz camp accuses Trump and Kasich of teaming up in Michigan. They don't deny it. Where living poor means dying young. Ted Cruz's war with Matt Drudge could become a huge problem for his campaign. FBI paid professional hackers one-time fee to crack San Bernardino iPhone. Republicans like Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. The general public doesn't. The new Gilded Age. Close to half of all Super PAC money comes from 50 donors. It's on. Tensions between Trump and the GOP escalate in public fight. Trump to RNC. Reform nomination system or have a rough July at that convention. Supreme Court to hear case regarding Obama's action on immigration. Leading Philippine presidential contender says, gang rape victim so beautiful he wishes he had been first. Hillary Clinton won New York, but her image is underwater. Britain issues warning for LGBT travelers visiting North Carolina and Mississippi. Well-known ISIS operative instructed Americans to kill organizer of Muhammad cartoon contest, prosecutors reveal. About 200,000 convicted felons in Virginia will now have the right to vote in November. Sanders says he has lost primaries to Clinton because poor people don't vote. We can celebrate Harriet Tubman without disparaging Andrew Jackson. Obamacare disaster will be Obama's enduring domestic legacy. Trump says if Clinton were a man, I don't think she'd get 5% of the vote. Are women headed for the draft? One House committee says yes. GOP elites are now resigned to Donald Trump as their nominee. If Trump is nominated, the GOP must keep him out of the White House. A headline for nearly every day of May 2016. Nerdy fight breaks out at White House Correspondents' Dinner after party between Fox News and Huffington Post reporters. For local transgender teen, national debate on restrooms is just a start. As voting begins, Trump sees a decisive Indiana victory, demise of Cruz and Kasich candidacies. Trump promises to obliterate Clinton's record. This brutal new ad shows the shredding machine that awaits Trump. Trump turns to general election and away from past positions. Mitt Romney met privately with William Kristol, who is leading the effort to draft an independent candidate. Hillary Clinton is going to be exonerated on the email controversy. It won't matter. Make America empathetic again. From Playboy to president, Trump's past crude sex talks collide with his White House bid. Democratic focus groups reveal warning signs about Donald Trump. Former senator says, release the uncensored truth about 9/11. Donald Trump masqueraded as a spokesman to brag about himself. Sorry, liberals, Elizabeth Warren isn't going to be Hillary Clinton's running mate. Is Ben Carson the worst or the best surrogate of all time? Yes. Even supporters agree Clinton has weaknesses as a candidate. What can she do? 5 people who are never going to be Donald Trump's vice president. Hillary Clinton's viral nightmare, a video of her lying for 13 minutes. This is how fascism comes to America. DNC to offer Sanders a convention concession. Poll says election 2016 shapes up as a contest of negatives. Proposed national park is a multi-million-dollar gift wrapped up in distrust. The Trump train is fueled by conspiracy. Trump accuses New Mexico's Republican governor of not doing her job. Clinton's inexcusable, willful disregard for the rules. 4 things Hillary Clinton got wrong in her latest statement about those emails. In San Diego, Trump shames local Mexican judge as protesters storm streets. Judge bashed by Trump orders release of company records. Even in victory, Donald Trump can't stop airing his grievances. Clinton's challenge, become a change agent in a year shaped by voter fury. A headline for every day of June 2016. Trump involved in crafting controversial Trump University ads, executive testified. It wasn't a glitch. State Department deliberately cut embarrassing questions from press briefing video. Ugly, bloody scenes in San Jose as protesters attack Trump supporters outside rally. The media have reached a turning point in covering Donald Trump. He may not survive it. Pushing racial boundaries, Trump draws rebuke from a fretful GOP. Joe Scarborough just went off on Donald Trump's racism. Republicans finally discover that Trump is an actual racist. Primary win shows Hillary Clinton needs the left less than the pro-Sanders liberals think. Warren says Trump is a loud, nasty, thin-skinned fraud. How Bernie Sanders' day in Washington got eclipsed by Democratic unity. Paul Ryan put in the hot seat about Trump endorsement at Romney Summit. Orlando nightclub shooting, 50 killed in domestic terror incident at gay club, gunman identified. Orlando shooting suspect's father hosted a political TV show and even tried to run for the Afghan presidency. FBI director says Orlando shooting probe also looks backward into agency files on shooter. I'm the shooter. It's me. Gunman called local TV station during attack, station says. Orlando shooter posted messages on Facebook pledging allegiances to the leader of ISIS and vowing more attacks. In memo, U.S. diplomats urge more aggressive stance on Syria. A Sanders endorsement of Clinton could come ahead of the Philadelphia Convention. The brutal numbers behind a very bad month for Donald Trump. Senate will vote down new gun laws today because of an intensity gap that favors the NRA. Trump entered June with just $1.3 million in the bank, while Clinton sat on $42 million war chest. Marco Rubio will seek Senate re-election, reversing pledge not to run. Supreme Court deadlocks thwarting Obama's immigration actions. Stop underestimating Trump. Brexit vote shows why he can win. As markets roil from Brexit, Trump holds a ribbon cutting at his golf resort. Donald Trump's bad month just got worse because Sanders backers just rallied to Clinton. Trump campaign's claim that State Department gave $55.2 million to laureate education after hiring Bill Clinton. Trump promised millions to charity. We found less than $10,000 over 7 years. Russian FSB guard attacked U.S. diplomat outside Moscow embassy. Islamic State routs Pentagon-backed Syrian rebels in fresh setback for U.S. strategy. A headline for every day of July 2016. Attorney General pledges to accept FBI and justice findings in Clinton email probe. How everyone looks bad because Bill Clinton met with Loretta Lynch. FBI interviews Hillary Clinton for more than 3 hours in email probe. Trump draws rebuke for his tweet with an image of Clinton and a Star of David. A home that looks perfect until bigotry rears its ugly head. On Clinton emails, no reasonable person can disagree with James Comey. Minnesota cop fatally shoots man during traffic stop. Aftermath broadcast on Facebook. Like a little war, snipers shoot 11 police officers during Dallas protest march, killing 5. Republican attacks on Comey undermine the rule of law. Black Lives Matter activist DeRay McKesson taken into custody by Baton Rouge police. 56% of Americans disapprove of FBI decision to exonerate Hillary Clinton. The deadliest weapon against Donald Trump? His own words. Ninth Circuit says it's a federal crime to visit a website after being told not to visit it. Trump promises showbiz at convention, but stars on stage will be relatively dim. We don't need Lincoln-inspired racial unity. We need whites to stop being racist. 60 mega donors gave 30% of the money raised by Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Anti-Trump delegates consider several attempts to upend convention. Donald Trump's answer on Mike Pence's Iraq vote is really something. Melania Trump's speech appears to have cribbed from Michelle Obama's in 2008. Lobbyists have raised $7 million for Hillary Clinton. For Trump, 0. Florida police shoot black man with his hands up as he tries to help autistic patient. Officials detect THC, marijuana's active ingredient, in Colorado town's public water supply. Alleged shooter in Munich spree who killed 9 was an 18-year-old German-Iranian from Munich. Democrats grapple with intra-party divisions 2 days before convention opens. Leaked DNC emails reveal the inner workings of the party's finance operation. The neat political trick that Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders played on Monday night. Would-be Reagan assassin John Hinckley Jr. to be freed after 35 years. The Democrats' well-deserved WikiLeaks blowback. The father of Muslim soldier killed in action just delivered a brutal repudiation of Donald Trump. On 3-day bus tour, Clinton hopes to woo blue-collar voters away from Trump. Khizr Khan responds to the latest from Trump, typical of a person without a soul. A headline for nearly every day of August 2016. Republicans denounce Trump as confrontation with Muslim parents escalates. Will GOP officials jump ship on Trump? Trump refuses to endorse Paul Ryan in GOP primary. I'm just not quite there yet. Why Donald Trump's campaign is like a speeding car with its parts falling off. 2 new polls put Donald Trump further back than Mitt Romney ever was. Hillary Clinton tried to answer questions about her emails. It didn't go well. Poll finds Clinton has widened lead ahead of Trump to 8 points. George W. Bush administration official announces support for Clinton over Trump. Donald Trump needs a miracle to win. The GOP must dump Trump. U.S. will affirm its prohibition on medical marijuana. The Trump we saw, populist, frustrating, naive, wise, forever on the make. Hope Solo, tolerated and excused in victory, exposes herself in Olympic defeat. Why Donald Trump's rigged elections warning could actually make his supporters less likely to vote. Trump unpopularity fuels wide lead for Clinton in new Virginia poll. Aetna decision exposes weaknesses in Obama's healthcare law. Trump doubles down in naming a combative true believer as campaign chief. Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort resigns. Trump's sickening attacks on Clinton's health. Trump campaign has biggest spending month yet, but Clinton dominates financially. FBI uncovers 15,000 more documents in Clinton email probe. Emails reveal how foundation donors get access to Clinton and her close aides at State Department. Now Hillary has a big Clinton Foundation problem too. Trump softening on immigration? Many of his supporters don't seem to mind. Here are the leading Republicans who rushed to defend Donald Trump on race. The strange tale of Donald Trump's doctor letter just got stranger. Donald Trump has a massive Catholic problem. Anthony Weiner just blew his second chance at a second chance. Trump said he could put several blue states in play. It's clear he can't. Trump to meet in Mexico with the country's president. A headline for nearly every day of September 2016. Jorge Ramos says Peña Nieto was meek with Trump. Latino voters in the U.S. won't be. Trump enlists veteran operative David Bossie as deputy campaign manager. Clinton understands America's place in the world. Trump does not. Obama says Kaepernick's national anthem protest, a tough thing for service members. Inside Bill Clinton's nearly $18 million job as honorary chancellor of a for-profit college. Trump making a play for Virginia despite long odds. Donald Trump's thoroughly strange claim about his Mexico visit. Inside a $10 million scheme to steal federal funds intended to feed hungry children. Democrats wonder and worry, why isn't Clinton far ahead of Trump? Kane says Clinton's deplorables characterization doesn't merit an apology. Secret Service followed atypical protocol with Clinton's early departure from Sunday 9/11 event. Yes, half of Trump's supporters are racist. House Democrats ask for justice investigation as New York AG looks into Trump Foundation. Despite gestures, Trump is still the least transparent U.S. presidential candidate in modern history. Trump defiant as polls rise, won't say Obama was born in the United States. Donald Trump's birther event is the greatest trick he's ever pulled. Trump says bomb went off in New York before details of explosion confirmed. Suspect in New York, New Jersey bombings taken into custody. Trump used $258,000 from his charity to settle legal problems. CNN commentator Lewandowski remained on Trump payroll in August. Clinton asks why she isn't beating Trump by 50 points. In America, gun rights are for whites only. A ferocious assault on Aleppo suggests the U.S. may be wrong on Syria. Jennifer Flowers said she would attend debate for Trump, but Trump camp says no. It's beyond debate that Donald Trump is unfit to be president. Clinton goes after Trump's weaknesses, his famously thin skin. Clinton to score another GOP endorsement, former Senator John Warner of Virginia. Enabler or family defender? How Hillary Clinton responded to husband's accusers. Trump's disgusting tweet about Alicia Machado got one thing right. It isn't what he thinks. A headline for every day of October 2016. It turns out Donald Trump was right about his defective microphone. Vindication? As news of Trump's taxes broke, he goes off script at a rally in Pennsylvania. Who gave Trump's taxes to the New York Times? The mystery behind a bombshell story. Trump backers realize they've been played as WikiLeaks fails to deliver October surprise. Donald Trump sniped at Megyn Kelly as the vice presidential debate began. Clinton debate prep is focused on what happens once the debate is done. I will not wear a hijab. U.S. chess star refuses to attend world championships in Iran. Trump recorded having extremely lewd conversation about women in 2005. NBC waited for green light from lawyers before airing Trump video. Trump's debate plan to seat Bill Clinton's accusers in family box was thwarted. The GOP tumbles towards anarchy. It's every person for himself or herself. Clinton campaign chairman ties email hack to Russians. Suggests Trump had early warning. Hillary Clinton for president. 2 speeches in 2 hours crystallized the state of campaign 2016. The press always got booed at Trump rallies, but now the aggression is menacing. Clinton has 4-point edge as voters weigh in on Trump's treatment of women. Rigged election talk didn't start with Trump. Trump's path to an electoral college victory isn't narrow, it's non-existent. After the Trump tape, calls to rape hotlines spike. Trump-driven divide will consume GOP long after the election. At charity roast, Donald Trump delivered what might as well be a campaign eulogy. Donald Trump is in a funk, bitter, hoarse, and pondering, if I lose. Adult film actress accuses Trump of offering $10,000 to come alone to hotel room. Sanders is prepared to be a liberal thorn in Clinton's side. How angry does Donald Trump make me? Angry enough to steal 40 Trump signs. You're fascinated with sex. That Megyn Kelly-Newt Gingrich showdown was one for the ages. Inside Bill Clinton Inc., hacked memo reveals intersection of charity and personal income. Americans are tuning out Trump's ugly lies. This new poll proves it. Justice officials warned FBI that Comey's decision to update Congress was not consistent with department policy. Clinton aide Huma Abedin has told People she doesn't know how her emails wound up on her husband's computer. James Comey is a good man, but he made a serious mistake. A headline for every day of November 2016. Poll says Trump 46, Clinton 45 as Democratic enthusiasm dips. 2 Iowa police officers killed in ambush-style attacks. Search for suspect underway in Des Moines area. Senior FBI officials were told of new emails in early October, but wanted more information before renewing Clinton probe. He's got to get control of the ship again. How tensions at the FBI will persist after the election. Trump is a threat to the West as we know it, even if he loses. Trump, in final stretch, pursues new opportunities to reach 270 electoral votes. A cyber attack could disrupt Tuesday's U.S. elections, but wouldn't change the results. Panel upholds soft money ban, but sends GOP campaign finance challenge to Supreme Court. Donald Trump wins the presidency in stunning upset over Clinton. Moscow had contacts with Trump team during campaign, Russian diplomat says. I said Clinton was in trouble with the voters I represent. Democrats didn't listen. If you voted for Trump because he's anti-establishment, guess what? You got conned. 1/3 of Clinton supporters say Trump election is not legitimate, poll finds. Trump draws sharp rebuke, concerns over newly appointed chief White House strategist Stephen Bannon. Paul Ryan is set to remain as House Speaker, and so are GOP tensions. I told conservatives to work for Trump. One talk with his team changed my mind. Facebook fake news writer says, I think Donald Trump is in the White House because of me. Trump poised to learn the Pottery Barn rule of governing. For foreign diplomats, Trump Hotel is place to be. Pentagon and intelligence community chiefs have urged Obama to remove the head of the NSA. Trump has a plan for government workers. They're not going to like it. Trump Foundation admits to violating ban on self-dealing. New filing to IRS shows. Governor Nikki Haley tapped to be Trump's UN ambassador. Trump turning away intelligence briefers since election win. The Constitution lets the Electoral College choose the winner. They should choose Clinton. Fidel Castro, Cuban dictator, dies at 90. Reddit CEO regrets trolling Trump supporters by secretly editing their posts. Donald Trump's bogus claim that millions of people voted illegally for Hillary Clinton. Trump names Rep. Tom Price as next HHS secretary. Trump fills key economic cabinet posts and promises to put his personal fortunes aside. A headline for every day of December 2016. Bernie Sanders says Carrier just showed corporations how to beat Donald Trump. Shouting match erupts between Clinton and Trump aides. China blasts petty Taiwan call with Trump. Fearing abandonment by Trump, CIA-backed rebels in Syria mull alternatives. Trying to imitate Trump's victory, Italy's Beppe Grillo could help throw Europe into crisis. Pentagon buries evidence of $125 billion in bureaucratic waste. Schumer says if Republicans destroy our health system, we won't throw them a lifeline. Our campaign lost the election, but Trump's team must own up to how he won. The reality show president. Trump to retain producing credit on Celebrity Apprentice. The CIA concluded that Russia worked to elect Trump. Republicans now face an impossible choice. FBI and CIA give differing accounts to lawmakers on Russia's motives in 2016 hacks. Trump draws rebuke after saying U.S. isn't bound by one China policy. Trump is assembling an anti-government. Did Russia help him get here? Labor Secretary Tom Perez will join race to run DNC. Griping about the popular vote? Get over it. Something is deeply broken at the FBI. FBI-backed CIA view that Russia intervened to help Trump win election. A new poll shows an astonishing 52% of Republicans incorrectly think Trump won the popular vote. The Electoral College is poised to pick Trump despite push to dump him. Trump's OMB pick seems poised to ignite a worldwide financial crisis. Bill O'Reilly rose to the defense of white privilege in America's presidential voting process. Trump names campaign manager Kellyanne Conway as White House counselor to the president. Putin to Democratic Party. You lost. Get over it. The Obama administration fires a dangerous parting shot. Donald Trump plans to shut down his charitable foundation, which has been under scrutiny for months. Transition advisors' tweets add intrigue to Trump aide Jason Miller's sudden resignation. Thanks to no drama Obama, American leadership is gone. Obama administration is close to announcing measures to punish Russia for election interference. Americans, especially but not exclusively Trump voters, believe crazy and wrong things. Putin says he won't deport U.S. diplomats as he looks to cultivate relationship with Trump. Russian hackers penetrated U.S. electricity grid through a utility in Vermont, U.S. officials say.